Everybody, it's Possible Pat. I'm here at Bodybuilding.com's headquarters, and I wanted to share my life, do a Q&A with everyone, and give you guys an update on what's been going on in my life, what's going on next, what's up next with me and Bodybuilding.com. As you guys may know, I did a show for the WBFF 3 weeks ago. I qualified to go to London, which I will be heading to London in 10 days to compete for the best transformation of 2017. If you don't know anything about my backstory, 3 years ago I used to weigh 605 pounds. And now I'm 270, I'll step on stage at 265. And my main journey is to show people it's possible, show people it can be done, and share it with my community in Bodybuilding.com's. We have a 16-week challenge coming up that registration will kick off while I'm in London, and hopefully I'll get crowned around that time. And we're really gonna target this challenge for the people that need the extra help, the people that need to know that it's possible, that have the extra pounds to lose. I've been in your shoes, so I know what it feels like. I know how hard it is to actually start that journey, and sometimes we put it off as long as possible. And for me, I started putting it off when I was 300 pounds and always waited for tomorrow to come, and that got me to 400 pounds, to 500 pounds, and then to 600 pounds. And I want to tell you guys, there's no more waiting. We have to take control of our lives. We have to take control of our health and be better us. And it's us versus us, you versus you. So let's hope all you guys join the challenge and we make some positive results. I'm also going to do a call in, so if you have any questions, leave your numbers in the comments. Leave your numbers in the comments and your questions as well. Is there any? And so if you have any questions, leave your... Is there any questions in there?
Yes, I got one.
Okay.
From YouTube, I am a truck driver, and since I've started, I've gained 25 pounds. Do you have any recommendations on what I can do to start my journey in cutting weight?
I am a truck driver, and since I started, I gained 25 pounds. And I get it, you probably used to eat a lot before you went on the road, but you were more active, and now you're spending, 6, 10, 12 hours a day driving, and you're still eating the same. One of the biggest things you can do is start prepping your food, start making healthier choices, bring a cooler with you. I have multiple truck drivers that follow me, and they ask me the same question. I tell them, your trucks are pretty big. Some of them have refrigerators in them. Some of them, you have room for a cooler. Prep your food out for the day, prep it out for the next 2 days, and bring it with you so you stay prepared. A lot of times we fail because of temptation. I get it, you're stopping at the gas station and only thing available is sodas and cupcakes and donuts, and we have to stay away from them things, especially not being nearly as active. So stay prepared, fight the temptation. That's the easiest way to avoid it, is eliminate the temptation.
I'm inspired by your story, hitting the gym now, but it can get hard with work. How do you go to the gym after a 16-hour day? Any advice on how to speed up my metabolism, supplements, etc.?
Inspired by my story, this person works 16 hours a day, and they're looking to speed up the process, and they're looking to find time for the gym. One thing I've realized in life, time is not going to wait. So if you have 24 hours in a day and you're spending 16 at work, and if you have that one extra hour, whether it's you tuning in to live right now or it's you going through your social media, watching TV, spend it in the gym. Spend it on becoming better. Spend it on prepping your food. A lot of people lose track of how much time is actually in a day. So 16, you still got 8 hours left. And I know 4 to 6 hours is probably going to be sleeping. So just find enough time and balance where you can prep your food and you can do the gym, whether it's 45 minutes at the gym or an hour at the gym and 30 minutes prepping your food every night. And as far as speeding up your metabolism, I tell people all the time, it's a process. You didn't gain the weight overnight, you're not going to lose it overnight. So you have to trust that process and keep making forward progress, and always challenge yourself. If you're going to the gym and for 2 months straight, you're walking on an incline at 2.5 and speed 2.5, challenge yourself. Try to raise it to 5. Try to raise the speed up. Always push your body to the limit.
From YouTube, I am a skinnier guy trying to build muscle best way to get myself onto a better diet?
So I'm trying to build muscle. And what was the rest?
He's just a skinny guy trying to build muscle and get bigger. What's
Okay.
the best way to get onto a better
So the
diet?
best way to put on weight, put on muscle, and to be honest, it's the same formula. Like you have to eat. You have to eat better. You have to make healthier choices. A lot of people feel like, oh, I'm skinny, I can't gain weight. It's really because of the quality of food you eat, and you may be doing 3,000 calories, but you're only getting it in 2 or 3 meals. And you're staying skinny because you need more calories. Your metabolism is faster. So I suggest getting keyed into your nutrition, either getting a coach or following a plan. Find your macros, find what it takes for you to actually not be in a deficit to put on that lean mass. And obviously you have to lift weights. You have to eat a bunch of food and lift weights if you want to gain mass.
What keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated? I get this question a lot. One of my biggest motivations when I first started is I didn't want to die. It was that simple. I had diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, a fatty liver, and I was 605 pounds. So death kept me motivated until I got healthy. And then to be honest, results kept me going. The fact that we can design our bodies the way we want and we can change the outcome of life just by eating clean and working out. I fell in love with it. I got addicted to it. Another thing is motivation. You know, a lot of people ask me what motivates me, but they're not possible, Pat. Your goals aren't my goals. Your motivation isn't my motivation. So I tell people all the time, whether it's your family, if you have kids, your spouse, or sometimes you just really need to look in the mirror and let you be your own motivation.
From YouTube, have you watched What's the Health? And what are your thoughts on meat and dairy being vegetarian?
Have I watched What the Health? I have not. I've heard a lot about it. That's actually one of my next Netflix flicks, my Netflix and chill while I'm prepping. So I do prep and chill. So I throw everything in the oven and on a grill, and then I'll watch a Netflix. Utilize that time to the first question. Make sure you're utilizing your time. But I'm against dairy. I don't do dairy. It actually, my body, I hit a plateau and I couldn't figure what was going on, and I cut dairy out my diet and it helped me get through a plateau. So for the last year and a half, I just haven't done dairy. I'm not going to give up meat. I'm just not going to do it. But if that's what you're chasing, if you want to be a vegan, if you want to be a vegetarian, I suggest you do that, but do something that you can do, that you can be successful in. I tried it actually for 6 months and it was horrible for me. So I went back to eating meat. I actually gained weight because I was trying to find ways to lose weight and get enough protein. And needless to say, I was eating a lot of black bean burgers to get 300 grams of protein a day. So it didn't work for me, but it may work for you. And I just want to share with people, make sure you find something that you can do for a lifetime. So it's not about changing for the next 4 weeks. It's not about changing for this 16-week challenge. It's about changing for life and being able to sustain a healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life.
From Facebook, I lost 100 pounds and have a little bit of loose skin. How do you learn to live with it?
I've lost 100 pounds and have a little bit of loose skin. Well, first of all, congratulations. That is just amazing that you have accomplished that goal. And one thing I want to share is I had loose skin, and for years I didn't tell anyone about it. And I finally came out and it was a lot of loose skin. I lost 300 pounds, so you can just imagine. I had 7 feet of loose skin. I posted a picture on Instagram with me stretching it out like it was a shirt. But be happy. You took control over your life, and you're healthier. You're probably going to live longer. You're probably feeling better. You're able to do more things, especially with losing 100 pounds. So your quality of life is way better than it was with the obesity versus the loose skin. Take that as a battle wound. I personally got it removed, my skin removed, because I had other goals in mind. I wanted to step on stage, and it was just part of my journey. I tell people, be confident. You accomplished something a lot of people struggle with, so don't worry about the loose skin.
This is from YouTube. I am a 40-year-old man who weighs 350 pounds. I have a quick, simple question. What was your best exercise to get rid of core fat?
So I'm a 40-year-old man. I weigh 400 pounds, I believe.
350.
350 pounds. What is the best exercise to get rid of core fat? And to be honest, there's no exercise that, oh, I'm gonna lose fat in my legs or I'm gonna lose fat in my arms. You just start. You gotta eat better, and it's gonna come off, whether it's from your legs, your stomach, your neck, wherever it comes off first, that's where it comes off. So the biggest thing is nutrition. Like, a lot of people say, I wanna go do a bunch of cardio because I wanna burn this fat, but they're starving themselves or they're not properly eating. So work out, put on lean mass. The more lean mass you have, the better you're eating, the more active you are doing your cardio, the quicker it's going to come off. It's a combination of them three things. So your nutrition is number one, and the gym is number two. It's the 80-20 rule, but in my opinion, it may be 80-20, but you have to give both 110%.
From Facebook, Nicholas asks, how long did it take you to get where you are now, and what was your journey?
It took me 2.5 years to lose 300 plus pounds. I spent the last year of my life trying to figure out loose skin. I went from bulking up, putting on a lot of lean mass, and just trying to figure it out, but nothing I did could help my skin. It was way past it ever being damaged. There was no coming back from it. So I decided to get loose skin surgery, which took about 6 months out of my journey, which was hard because, 6 months after going 2.5 years straight of working out and eating clean, and all of a sudden you're at this big stop and you can't do nothing. It was hard for me. What was the end of that question?
What was your journey? Like, how did you get started?
To be honest, my journey was, obviously I had that death scare that actually didn't register in my mind until 2 weeks later. I actually went home and stuffed my face for about 2 weeks. Like, I was binge eating because I was emotionally distressed, and that's what I wanted food to deal with my problems. And one day I stepped out of the shower, and the picture I used for my before picture was what actually motivated me to get started, because my stomach was down to my knees and my breasts were huge, and I was just disgusted with myself, and I just said I was no longer going to be that guy. So step one for me was eliminating temptation, getting rid of all the bad food in my house. And I didn't know what to eat, I didn't know what to work out. So I decided I would walk to get every meal. That would be my exercise. And on every walk, I would Google healthy things to eat. And that's what I did. And that's how I lost my first 100 pounds in 90 days.
How do you handle people that are negative towards your success, as if they almost want you to fail?
How do you handle people that's negative towards your success? I mean, you don't handle them. You don't deal with them. You don't let anyone's opinion, anyone's thoughts affect your life. At the end of the day, it's your goals, your life, it's you versus you. I say it all the time. Like, one person's thought is never going to affect me becoming better. And if you really want to affect them, kill them with success.
Angie from Facebook asks, how did you deal with the emotional eating?
How did I deal with the emotional eating? It's funny because I still have that problem. Sometimes I stress and I'll catch myself eating some stuff that I shouldn't be eating, or I'll just get lost in the food, and that moment of satisfaction just takes me away from the problems. But one of the biggest things that helped me, I learned to eat healthier food. So when I did have the moments where I was stressed, I would turn to, my chicken breast, or, I would turn to a bunch of a stir fry or something healthier to get me away from continually eat bad. And to be honest, it's something I still battle with. I don't know how to overcome it. Even after 3.5 years, I still battle with it. And now I just choose to make healthier decisions. Like the other day, I went ham on a bag of rice cakes and I was like, yo, luckily they were rice cakes and not Doritos.
From YouTube, what's your favorite
What's my favorite tat?
Yours.
My favorite tat is I have a lot of tattoos. One is this one, love. I just feel like going through what I went through in life and seeing the negativity from being obese, that I was treated differently, and I feel like, no matter if I'm overweight, if I'm healthy, if I have a six-pack, we all should be treated the same, and we should all love each other. So that's one of my most meaningful tattoos. A little emotional for me, but being overweight for so many years, I mean, I was overweight since I was a kid, so the name calling, the, not being able to do certain things, and people always staring. I mean, I was 600 pounds. Like, I stepped into the room, 600 pounds, and I'm 6'8". I was getting stared at. People were pointing. It just is what it is. They point now, but now it's for different reasons. But yeah, definitely the love tattoo is most important to me.
This is from Twitch. How much cardio do you recommend when trying to burn fat and build muscle?
How much cardio do I recommend? It all depends, where you at in your journey. When I first started, I was just like anyone else. I said, you know what, all I'm gonna do is cardio. So I used to do an hour and a half a day, and then I fell in love with lifting weights. So I made a balance between the two, 30 to 45 minutes of cardio, 45 minutes to working out. But you also have to take your day into consideration. What do you have time for? If you only have time for an hour and a half, utilize it. Make sure you're hitting your hour. I pick weights over cardio any day, but I still do my cardio. But if you're bulking, cardio is a must. A lot of people think they can go on these bulk without doing any cardio, but you still want to keep your body fat low, and you still want to have the benefits of having more protein without putting on the extra fat in the process.
Okay, so from Instagram Live, what is the best pre-workout meal?
Best pre-workout meal for my wife or for me? My wife. Let's talk about burgers and fries. No, but seriously, best pre-workout meal for me is I typically work out in the afternoon, so right after breakfast, I normally do my egg whites. Depending on where I'm at in prep or where my diet is at, some carbs. I like fueling my workout with carbs. I feel like I have a better workout when I have some type of carbs in me. So, and that's my favorite, egg whites and oatmeal.
How long did your transformation take?
My transformation to lose the weight has been 2.5 years. We're currently in 3 years, but it's not over. I'm trying to become better every day. So my transformation is going to last for the rest of my life, because I plan on making forward progress as much as I can and learning my body and seeing what it can become.
I only have 30 to 45 minutes to work out, which means I don't have time to get to the gym. What are some home exercises I can do?
When I first started, that's all I did was home stuff. To be honest, I was embarrassed to go to the gym. So depending on your weight and what you can do, I used to just get up and down like this, because at 600 pounds, that was hard, and it kept my heart rate up. So, try getting Insanity or something where you're not just doing cardio, but you're building some type of lean mass, something that incorporates, push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that. Something that you can high intensity if you only have 45 minutes, because you want to keep your heart rate up, and so you'll be burning fat the whole time.
And then do you follow a program, or do you do your own thing?
Right now, I'm on prep, so my meals are real dialed in. When I'm not on prep, I do my own thing. I just stay within my macros, and I work out every day. I love working out, so there's no program for it. I tend to just go in and do whatever.
What's your current split?
My current split yesterday was 26 grams of carbs, so probably 10% carbs and the 45% protein, the rest fats. So but it changes so much, especially if you've ever been on prep, 16 weeks out versus 8 weeks out versus 3 weeks out, everything changes. So it's a constant change when you're on prep. When I'm not on prep, I really don't follow so much in dialed in macros. I like to carb cycle. I like to, add that cheat meal in. So I'll have a high carb day where I cheat healthy. Let me tell you people, you got to cheat healthy. Like, just because you're cheating, don't fall off and just go ham. I used to do sweet potato pancakes on leg day. So I would go have my leg workout and then afterwards have my sweet potato pancakes. And then the next day I would go to no carbs just to shock my body. So that's what I do when I'm off of prep. I do carb cycling. I have a cheat meal maybe once a week and two high carb days, 2 medium and the rest low to no carbs.
Can you go into what supplements you use? Do you use BCAAs or creatine?
I definitely use BCAAs every day. I just love BCAAs. It makes it easier, especially when you're drinking 3 gallons of water. Typically I'll do 1 gallon of water with my BCAA in it, the other just regular water. As far as supplements, there's so many different out there that for so many different reasons. I've taken creatine, I've taken pre-workout. I mean, I've tried everything. To be honest, when you're 600 pounds, you're like, yo, I'm gonna try this, and this, and figure out what works. But in all reality, none of that stuff works if you're not working. So if you're gonna invest in supplements, I hate to say it while I'm on Bodybuilding.com's live, but if you're gonna invest in supplements, make sure you're ready to invest in yourself.
You're getting a lot of compliments on your legs, so they want to know what are your favorite leg exercises and can they see your quads?
My favorite leg exercises is all of them. I love leg day. That's just, I love squats. I love hack squats. I typically do 200 to 500 squats every leg day. Leg extensions, just everything. I have big legs, and I kind of had a cheat code because after being 600 pounds for 5 years and then losing weight, my legs were awfully strong. And yes, you can see my quads and calves.
Do you ever plateau during your weight loss? If so, how long did it take?
Did I ever plateau? I did. And to be honest, plateaus only exist because we allow them to exist. It's your body getting to a certain point from what you've been doing for a certain amount of time. And people understand, like, if you're losing weight and your deficit is 3,500 calories, but you lost 50 pounds, you can't be on that same 3,500 calorie deficit because you're no longer in a deficit. You're probably maintaining at that point. So plateaus do exist only if you allow them. If you're hitting a plateau, it's time to switch things up. Definitely diet is probably 90% of plateaus, and then workouts. Like I said, you got to challenge yourself. You got to do more. If you've been doing the same workout for 4 months straight and it's become awfully easy, time to level up and do something different.
Tyler from Facebook asked for advice for someone who's just starting their journey.
Someone that's just starting their journey, what kind of advice can I give them? First of all, getting started is a hard thing. So if you're thinking about starting, don't think about it, just do it. Trust me, it will change your life. It not only changed my life, but it saved my life. Make commitments. Make commitments to yourself, to your loved ones. For me, I even made commitments to my social media by posting. One thing that helped me when I first started, I used to make notes. And I used to hang them everywhere. And one was on the mirror. It used to say, "Don't be this guy anymore." And it represented that I didn't want to be the person I currently am. And to this day, I still think like that. I don't want to be who I am today, tomorrow. I want to be someone better. On my refrigerator, I used to say, "Don't cheat yourself," or, "It's not worth it." I used to just leave little notes to remind myself that the pain that I've been through, and it's really not worth it. Diabetes isn't worth potato chips, or heart disease. To me, it's just not worth it. But some of you people may not be in that situation like I was, but how long are you going to go not being in that situation before you get to that situation. So sometimes you really need to think about your future. You know, it may not affect you today. You may not have diabetes. You may only be 50 pounds overweight, but if you continue to let that happen, will you get up to 400 pounds? Will you take it as far as I did? So getting started is number one, making notes, and making a commitment to yourself, your family, to the people that care about you.
Facebook asks, how does it feel to be such an inspiration to so many people?
How does it feel to be such inspiration to so many people? To be honest, it's the best feeling in the world. For the first time in life, I feel like I have purpose. You know, I feel like I'm helping and actually motivating people, and some people even say that I saved their lives. So it's the best feeling in life. To be honest, I've done many things in my life. I used to be a bodyguard. I traveled the world, and I made plenty of money, but nothing can replace what I'm going through now. So this is awesome, and it's a blessing, and I really thank you guys for, you know, believing in me, supporting me, and letting me be part of your journeys, your motivation.
Okay, from Instagram Live, what supplements do you use to gain muscle?
Beef. What supplements do you use to gain muscle? There's some good proteins out there. A lot of people, you know, have problems with gaining muscle because they're not eating enough. They're not getting enough protein. There's definitely some mass gaining proteins that I like to add to my diet, just because, you know, when you're going into the 5,000-6,000, you know, for me, 8,000 calories and 400 grams of carbs a day, it becomes quite hard to eat. So shakes definitely help. Creatine, maybe some type of test booster, something to just get you going.
What was your first week like? Did it feel impossible, or did something in you know this was your time? If so, what?
So my first week didn't happen this journey. My first week happened when I was 16. You know, at 16, I was 280 pounds, you know, and then that first week happened again when I was 20. So my first week typically lasted for about 30 days, and I ended up just quitting. And that's what it was, because I never really wanted it. I never really, you know, desired it. And I never feared that my life could be lost, or, you know, feared the things that I can possibly go through. This last first week, I knew, and I knew because I was just tired. I was tired of the years of being overweight. You know, I was tired of my ankles being sore, not being able to walk, not being able to tie my shoe, having to roll out of bed. You know, it's a lot you go through. Some of you may be going through it now, like even going to a restaurant and not being able to fit in a booth, or worried that you might break a chair, or it's just so much with obesity that, you know, if you really think about it, when you start your journey, you'll follow through. You know, that's one of my biggest motivations. When I'm in the gym, I used to think about everything that I used to go through, how people treated me, or, you know, being at a picnic and breaking the little plastic chairs. I didn't want to do that no more. So sometimes when I was ready to quit and not do cardio, or, you know, not do that extra set, I used to just think about my past.
From Facebook, having been so heavy, I'm sure you have had bad knees and a back. Did any of this hinder your workouts? Thanks on everything that you suffered.
Definitely. When I was overweight, everything hurt. Even when I was just walking, I would be sore for days, and a lot of it comes from the weight. And understand, when that weight goes away, less problems happen. Currently, like, my level of training is super intense. I do a lot of cardio, at least an hour of training, weight training, and then I go back for 2 days, and I have no problems. So the further away you get from obesity, the less problems you're going to have, and you'll be so happy that you accomplished it, because everything is easy now. It's everything. Like, I can walk upstairs and not be out of breath, and, you know, I can walk upstairs without my knees hurting, without my ankles hurting. So Yeah, it's a process though. It's going to hurt. There's no way around it. It is going to hurt, and especially if you're overweight and you've been inactive for so long that your body just has to get used to it, and it's hard to get used to it when you have an extra 100 pounds. So just trust the process, let the weight come off, and feel better once it comes off.
From Instagram Live, can you explain your cardio routine?
My cardio routine. I start off every day with 30 minutes of fasted cardio. If you don't know what fasted cardio is, it's after the fasted state. So when you wake up from sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours, however long it is, plus the 2 hours before you had your last meal, you do fasted before you have anything to eat. I typically drink my BCAAs, maybe some type of stimulants, depending on how I feel in the morning. This morning I did because it was like 7 a.m. and I was like, I gotta do this cardio before I go to Bodybuilding.com because I know I'm not gonna do it while I'm there. And then typically after that, I work out and I do depleted cardio, which is after your body's depleted. So after your workout, you do your depleted cardio. I feel like them two are actually the most beneficial. Actually, the other day I read this article, which was on Bodybuilding.com. It's the different types of cardio. So if you get it, just Google best cardio Bodybuilding.com, and it'll pull it up on Google, and you can read the types of cardio. And I also incorporate a lot of HIIT cardio. So my depletion cardio is typically sprints uphill on the treadmill or some type of intervals on the Stairmaster. I do it for like 25 minutes.
I started losing weight earlier this year, and now I'm gaining weight again. I don't know how to get the momentum back, even though I work out regularly. Do you have any suggestions on how to get momentum back?
How do I get momentum back? I started losing weight, then I started gaining, and I work out regularly. That right there tells me you've been bullshitting. I mean, it's just that simple. You've been eating stuff that you shouldn't been eating, and you were keyed in, and then you got tired of eating healthy, but you like working out, so you said, you know what, I'm gonna outwork this bad diet, and that is impossible. So stop trying to, think it's only one thing to weight loss or one thing to success, because it's the combination. It's the combination of eating clean. It's the combination of doing your cardio. It's the combination of working out. If you're not going to eat clean, I'm not going to tell you not to work out, but I will tell you that it's going to be very hard for you to reach your goals. It's funny because I watched this video the other day with Steve Cook eating 10,000 calories and then trying to burn it off the next day, and he couldn't do it, and he's a super athlete. So don't try to outwork a bad diet. It's impossible. If my diet would have never changed and I would have just started working out, I was eating 10,000 plus calories every day. To be 600 pounds, I was eating probably like 10,000 calories to stay that weight. And even if I started working out and burnt 1,000 calories a day, probably would still be 600 pounds. So you can't outwork a bad diet.
Eating healthy is expensive. What can I do to eat healthy on a budget?
So one of the things I did, a lot of people say protein's expensive, and I spent $50 and got 30 meals. So, you come out to like $1 or something a meal, and that helps, 30 meals, or sometimes it'll last you 15 days. So if you can get 2 meals a day for $50, or sometimes, there's great deals where you can get it for $30. I suggest you getting a protein, letting them be 2 of your meals, and that's gonna take a lot of saving right there. Also, man, find deals. Like, people are just being lazy. Like, you gotta understand, if this supermarket doesn't have a deal, look for somewhere else that does. If you have to go to 2 supermarkets, you have to get your vegetables from one and you have to get your meat from other, just do whatever it takes. Just don't make excuses on, I can't afford it. And especially a lot of people tell me that all the time. I can't afford a meal plan. I can't afford to go buy chicken breasts, but you can afford to eat at McDonald's every day. You can afford to eat that $10 meal, but you can't afford to eat the $10 meal that's going to save your life. So, people think they can't afford it because they're not making the adjustments everywhere else in life. So that means I'm not getting my hair done this week so I can live longer, or I'm not getting my nails done, or I'm not going to buy new sneakers this month. To better myself, that's what you have to do. You have to make sacrifices.
What What are your other life goals?
Other life goals. I just want to be a great person. You know, like I said, this has gave me purpose, and it changed my life for the better. But I've learned that the same effort that I put into losing weight, to start putting it into everything else in life, whether it's business, my relationship, or it's just me being a father. You know, I want to give everything 100%. And I know a lot of people think that's impossible, but if you want to be successful at anything you do, you give it 110%. And just because I'm in the fitness industry and I'm trying to motivate as many people as possible, I'm not going to not be a good dad. I'm not going to not be a good husband. So that's just what I want to be. I want to be good at everything that I do. There is no life goal as, you know, I want to be a billionaire. I mean, that would be nice, but to be honest, this right here is what I want to do. I'm doing what I actually want to do, and I plan on doing it more. You know, I want this to be my life, you know, because it affects so many other people. You know, how can you stop doing something that is changing the world? You know, people may not see it changing the world, but if I change one life, to me, it's making a difference.
Instagram Live wants to know your calf routine because you have amazing calves.
Walking at 600 pounds was my calf routines. I have maybe 3 times in the last 4 years trained calves. So it was being 600 pounds. That's how I got calves. And no lie. Maybe from squatting, but I don't actually do calf workouts. Maybe I should start to see if I can make them better. I don't know.
Connor or McGregor?
Connor or McGregor, they're the same people. But if you meant Connor and Mayweather, Connor or Mayweather, to be honest, it's a publicity to me. So, you know, does the world let the $100 million man lose a fight? I don't think so. So I'm going with Mayweather.
All right, Instagram Live, how many meals do you eat a day?
I'm currently eating 7 meals a day. When I'm bulking, I do about 8. But typically, I stay around somewhere between 6 and 7. I have to eat a lot of calories just to maintain. So I like to split it up so I don't feel overloaded or full or groggy on after eating a meal.
Facebook asks, what was your motivating factor to not get weight loss surgery? He's looking at.
To be honest, I know people that got weight loss surgery. I know people that got gastric bypass, got the sleeve, and it does not change your mindset. Like, there's people right now that are failing at gastric bypass, and well, gastric bypass isn't really the thing of this time, but in the early 2000s, my mom got it, and she had success, but I know someone else that did get it, and they couldn't change their mindset, and they kept overeating, and they ended up busting their staples and almost killing themselves because they couldn't stop overeating. So to me, if you're gonna go through that and know you have to change your mindset, know you have to change the way you eat, why get surgery? If this is the same steps to lose the weight, why get surgery? All it's doing is trying to force you to do it. So force yourself to do it, you know. Surgery isn't worth it.
Can we get a physique update, as in how are your surgery scars?
Surgery scars, they're quite intense. I mean, 3,500 stitches, and it's been 6 months. So, no, it's been a year now. They're fading, but they're not all the way gone. I'm probably going to do some type of treatment after the show in London to try to possibly fade them away. But to me, it's just another part of my journey. I can care less if they're there or not. You know, a lot of times I'm wearing the tank top and people will stare and they're like, he must have been in a horrific accident or something. Like, I just got this Wonder Woman scar on my back. I look like Charlie Brown. It's just, you know, I'm happy with it though. You know, I don't let what people think affect me, and I know why they're there, and anyone that knows me knows why they're there.
Okay, from Instagram Live, do you have any bulking tips on how to do meal prep, how many meals we should be eating, and any gym tips for how many times a week we should be working out?
If you're bulking, I mean, you should definitely be working out at least 5 to 6 times a week, and the same with your cardio. You should be doing cardio at least 4 to 5 times a week. As far as meal prep, it's the same, man. If you're one of them people that can't go every day, cooking your 7 meals or your 8 meals or however many meals you're doing, prep them. Take it, once a week or twice a week where you're prepping your food out for the week. As far as bulking, there's going to be a lot of carbs involved. There's going to be a lot of protein involved. So just make sure you're eating the food. A lot of people, for me, it was hard. When I went through my bulk, it was hard to get all my meals in because I just wasn't hungry. So a lot of force feeding. Sometimes you have to do whatever it takes to reach your goals.
I weigh 360 pounds. I used to weigh 230. I try to eat healthy, but it's hard. I can't get motivated.
I used to weigh 230 pounds and now I'm 360. I've gained 130 pounds. I can't get motivated. I mean, you're heading in the wrong direction. And if what you're going through now isn't motivational enough, I just don't know what to tell you. Like 130 pounds from where you were before, like that's a drastic difference. You've put on a lot of body fat, and it's, to be honest, it's unhealthy. I don't know if you were overweight at 230 pounds, but just putting on 130 pounds of fat is a drastic change, and you're putting a lot of stress on your heart, a lot of stress on your body, your knees. Like I tell you, like don't become me. Don't become 600 pounds. Don't become 500 pounds. Like that should be motivation for you. You being better, you taking control of your life. I know you feel the difference now that you're 130 pounds heavier. So let that be your motivation. Let you becoming better be your motivation.
What show in London are you doing and when?
I'm doing the WBFF Worlds. It's October 25th, 6th, and 7th.
All right, from Instagram Live, how many calories are you eating right now?
3,500 right now.
And then they want another quad flex.
Another quad flex. If I can. I haven't worked out legs this week. That's why they look shredded. It's a secret to it.
Don't train. Do you have a workout partner or trainer? I'm only asking because I wonder if it's good to learn by yourself or with a partner.
I'm in prep, so I have a coach. But when I was losing weight and working out, I didn't, And if a partner makes you accountable, do that. If that's what's going to push you, do that. For me, I had other goals in mind. I didn't need someone to tell me, let's go to the gym. I was that person like, yo, you coming to the gym? And if they wasn't, I wasn't going to let them prevent my success. So regardless if I had a workout partner or a coach or whatever, I put in the same effort, by myself with someone, no matter what. I was chasing a goal and I wasn't going to let anything stop me.
Did you play any college sports?
I went to college on a scholarship to play football. I ended up dropping out my first semester to go on tour to be a bodyguard with a celebrity. And I spent 10 years doing that.
What's your favorite cheat meal?
My favorite cheat meal? All of them. To be honest, I'm not a big cheater. I cheated my entire life. I ate what I want my entire life. So when a cheat meal comes, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do something healthy, or you know what, instead of the sweet potato, I'm gonna do a baked potato. Sometimes I keep it simple, but then sometimes I do want to have a cheeseburger, but it's not often. And I tend to overeat every time I cheat, which I lose control. And it's been a gift and a curse because I'll cram down 5,000 calories in a meal and a half or 2 meals, and I'll feel like crap the next day, and then I never want to do it again. So I'll go 3 or 4 months without having another cheat meal. So that's been beneficial to me. But for the people that aren't going to feel like that and you have that 3,000 calorie meal, I suggest you stopping right there. And earn your cheats, people. Like, a lot of people are overweight, and obviously you've been eating bad for the last year, last 2 years, or maybe last 10 years of your life. Give it some time. Like, people's first thing is, when can I have a cheat? You've been cheating your entire life. Like, this is the cheat. You're cheating from the bad stuff, and now you're cheating with something healthy. Like, let this become a lifestyle before you try to add the old you back into it.
I'm 320 pounds. I'm trying to drop down to 205. What steps can I take to get there on my workouts?
On your workouts, if you're trying to lose weight, man, you need to get dialed in on your diet. If you're 305 and you're trying to drop weight, and I forget what weight he said, 250? What is he trying to get down to?
205.
205. So you have almost 100 pounds to lose, and your first thoughts is workouts. I suggest your first thoughts being changing your diet, changing your bad habits. Like I said, you can't outwork a bad diet, but if you already have your diet keyed in and you've already started succeeding in the weight loss, like I said, it's a combination. I do full body. When I was overweight, I used to do full body, high tempo, just to keep my heart rate up, so I would have to do less cardio and do my cardio.
Our followers want to know where they can find you on social.
Possible Pat. Everything is Possible Pat. My Facebook is Possible Pat. My Instagram is Possible Pat. And even my website is Possible Pat.
Is training twice a day good or not? Please, I need help.
Training twice a day. There's so many different opinions on that. I personally love training twice a day, and it just became routine because I go super intense when I'm training by myself, and then later, or if I'm with my coach or teammates, and then I train with my fiance, soon-to-be wife, during nighttime. So, it's a slower pace, lighter weights, and we're doing different things. Sometimes I like breaking up my cardio, so I have to go twice a day. And sometimes I like doing my accessory work, so I'll do my triceps or my biceps after my chest workout or after my back workout. But it's all about, where you at in your journey. If you're trying to lose weight, there's nothing wrong with it. But during prep, sometimes you have to take in consideration that your meals are built for your current workouts, and when you're burning more calories than you need to be during prep, you'll come in looking flat. So that's only if you're on prep, but any other time I'm all for 2-a-days.
How did you come up with the name Possible Pat?
So when I first started this journey, question is, how did I come up with the name Possible Pat? When I first started this journey, people used to call me Fat Pat. That's just a nickname that stuck with me all through my childhood. Then it was Big Pat, and I started working out, and I was addicted to it. And I used to go to the gym every day, and then it was Gym Rat Pat. So I didn't feel like that name connected with people. At first it did, because all I cared about was the gym and losing weight and lifting a bunch of stuff. But then I started seeing that I've been motivating people and reaching people, and I just wanted to really connect with my community. And I just asked one day, I was thinking about switching my name, and what would be best? Why do people follow me? And I learned people follow me because it's possible. And I was just like, PP, Possible Pat, it goes together, it's smooth. And for like the first month, everybody was calling me Kim Possible, and it was just upsetting. But now it's stuck. No one calls me Kim Possible anymore.
Okay, from Instagram Live, is it better to do cardio before or after your weight training?
If you're doing it right before your weight training, I suggest doing it after. Now, if you're doing cardio fasted, then you're having a meal, and then you're going to weight train, that's perfectly fine. And only why I say do it after, because it'll affect your lift. You'll have less energy. You won't be able to lift as much. Some people, for me, especially if I'm on a low carb diet and I do 30 minutes of cardio or an hour of cardio, my lifts aren't going to be the same. So I'd rather have 100% lift, and your cardio is not going to change. You're just going to get on the treadmill and do it. So definitely after.
All right, last question.
Last question.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your upcoming challenge?
Last question, upcoming challenge. So me and Bodybuilding.com, we're doing a 16-week challenge that will start, I believe, October 11th, somewhere around that date, and it will end to the end of the year. Yes, we're going through Thanksgiving, New Year's, Halloween, just all these holidays, and even Christmas, where we tend to eat all the food. But that's the thing, we're going to challenge it. We're going to challenge you to commit to a healthier lifestyle, to learn that it's not all about the food. There's healthier options, and this challenge is really based on losing the weight. For the people that have the 50, 100, 150 pounds to lose. In my case, 300 pounds to lose, and they've been intimidated by other challenges. They didn't feel like they were a part of it. They didn't feel like their success would, compare to someone else's. So this is a challenge that's going to be really dialed into the obese community, really help people get through it, really help people start their journey and show them it's possible. And hopefully in the 16 weeks we have, the challenge is longer. Normally it's 8 weeks. We're giving you almost 4 months to really get some good results and really take control over your life. And that's really the main goal. Yes, we're giving away a pretty large number for one female, one male, and even one motivator throughout the challenge. But it's really about taking control of your life. And that's what helped me so much during these challenges. It kept me accountable, it kept me going, it kept me working, even though I was working to win money. But at the end, win or lose, I became better, and that's what it's about. Thank you. I'm Possible Pat. Thank you for tuning in. This is Bodybuilding.com.